Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to Your Welcome. I'm excited, per usual, to get started today. I have to honestly make this quick because I have a date and I would be running late if I yapped the way that I really want to. But I wanted to make sure, A, accountability, that I put this out on time, but also every week something new touches my heart. Every week I feel called to talk about something different, and so I feel like if I feel called to talk about it, then someone feels called to listen to it, right? Like, that's the way the universe works. So today I want to talk a little bit about releasing your need to be a control freak. Let's get into it. Okay, so as always, first I'm going to light some incense. I'm too lazy to get up and get my lighter, so we're using handy dandy matches. If you're watching me on YouTube, this is the first YouTube. If you see me, you see this is my date outfit. Anyway, I'm getting so sidetracked. Wow. This incense, let's start there. This incense is the moon. I really like it. I usually use this incense around like a full moon, a new moon. I think we will have a full moon like in a couple of weeks because my cycle used to sync with the full moon, and it has since just been gravitating its way up. But needless to say, I really like this incense for when I do those full moon and new moon cycle cleanses and like meditations and affirmations and journaling and releases. So I highly recommend that one. They of course sell it on Amazon. Like, what don't they sell on Amazon? It smells really good. I honestly, don't ask me what any incense smells like unless it has it on the package, because I'm not a big like knowing my scents girl. I just know something smells good, so trust me, it smells good. Again, if you're watching me on YouTube, this is my date outfit. I'm just wearing like a cute black halter bodysuit, and then this skirt. I feel really good. I think I mentioned it before, but I've been on my, I won't say weight loss journey, but just getting my shit together journey when it comes to like my physical body. And so I feel really good that I can like fit into my clothes. Like, this halter is like, it's a little like tight on my neck, but I think that's just because my boobs grew a little bit. So that's like a really good thing. My friend, I'm texting her about me going on a date. She's giving me suggestions. But anyway, so yeah, this is a second date. I don't really, right now I'm just like going with the flow. I'm not like pressed. I'm not thinking of my name monogrammed on anyone's towels in the words of Charlotte from Sex and the City. If you know, you know. But obviously, like, if we vibe, I'll at least go on another date with you. I'll at least go on dates with you. We vibe, it's cool. Like, he's chill. So I'm like, okay, whatever. And it's literally near my house. That's why I'm like, all right, as long as I leave here like 5 minutes before I need to be there, we should be fine. And honestly, if I'm like a couple minutes late, who cares? Like, I don't really care. But yeah, anyway, so another thing of me releasing control, because obviously I have things to do today, and this is one of those things that I needed to get done. And so I'm releasing control of like time. I'm gonna allow the conversation to flow, of course be aware of the time, but not be so like, okay, I've gotta wrap this up. Like, no, I'll take my time. We'll still get everything covered, or I will chat about my feelings about this. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, let's talk about releasing the need to control. My entire life, and I don't know if anyone resonates with this, I'm a middle child, for one. I have, out of 3 girls, so it's not like a boy and 2 girls or 2 boys and a girl. Like, it's literally 3 girls. And so I feel like when it's a family of like the same gender, like the same sex, like, it creates like a even bigger middle child syndrome. And I have been independent since I was like, my mom always said I was like super independent. Like, I always wanted to do things myself. Like, no, I've got it, I can do it. I think that's like the Capricorn in me. But I really had to look back on my life to figure out like what about me made me feel like I need to control every single thing in my life. What about me made me feel like I really need to worry and have plan B's, C's, D's, all the way to Z. What about my life made me feel like I don't feel safe in my decisions or in my goals, like I can actually accomplish what I want to accomplish. This incense is all up in this camera. Let me move it a little bit. I'm an astrology girl, obviously, and I know with Capricorns we tend to worry a lot. We tend to stress about things and outcomes that aren't real. So that's, you know, that's neither here nor there. And then on top of that, anxiety. But also in my childhood, I just felt like my sisters were so outwardly open about their needs when it came to like their mental health and like their emotional health with my parents, that I just didn't feel like there was like any room left for me to talk about it. And that was like a really difficult thing for me to come to terms with. Is like, wow, I didn't feel like safe enough to like talk about these things because I just didn't feel like there was enough room, enough space for me to talk about things that I'm going through. So I really like took a lot of stuff on the chin, like when it came to like schoolwork, being bullied in school. Of course, you know, we're middle schoolers, like we bully and we get bullied, like just like my struggles with anxiety and like just needing to be perfect, not feeling like I could do the things that other kids could do because of like my religious background, like things like that. I just didn't feel safe enough and like I had the space to talk about it. And, you know, I don't want to bash my parents because they did the best that they could. And I think another part of being an adult is realizing that like your parents, you have to meet your parents where they are and realize that like your parents are human beings. And the older you get and the more friendly you become with your parents, you realize, wow, there's no difference between them and like this ex-friend over here, like as far as like their mental state goes, you know, like they're wiser, they have experience, they have a lot to teach us, but they're still human beings and they just did the best that they could. And so a big part of me being able to release control of outcomes and release control of everything in my life was healing my relationship with my parents. And I remember I wasn't the one to initiate the conversation with them. I think a big part of it was honestly because I moved. Like I'm the only sibling or the only daughter that doesn't live in Hampton. I'm the only daughter that lives in another state. I'm the only one that is like super self-sufficient in the sense of like I will figure it out before I go to someone for help. And, you know, there were some things that happened in my childhood like that I don't want to get into. Nothing crazy with my parents like that, but like just feeling like I was on my own. Like it was up to me to do it or it wasn't going to get done. And so I just realized that I took that and into my adulthood. And obviously that's not like a good feeling. So both of my parents actually, like individually, I don't know if they ever talked to each other about it or if they like had conversations about it, but my parents are divorced for one. And they both separately had conversations with me about like, I wish that I could have done more when you were a kid. Like, I wish that I knew what you needed. Like, I didn't know that you needed this. I didn't know that you needed that. I didn't know how to be there for you because you just kept saying like, I've got it, mom, or I got it, dad, like I can do it. And so, you know, I think when a kid is like, I've got it, and you have so much other things going on, sometimes it's even hard to like gauge and like check in with your kid and be like, wait, is she really okay? And so like that's, you know, I won't say that that's on me because I was a child, but I'm not necessarily even blaming them because again, they did the best that they could. And the more conversations I've had with them about like my anxiety when I was a kid or like XYZ happening in school, like being bullied in school because my niece is, you know, going through that right now, like things like that, it really transformed our relationship and it really transformed my trust in them because while I've been living in Atlanta, I've needed my parents. Like I've had things happen and I've needed to call them, or I needed to like honestly borrow money or things like that. And so now I feel like I have people that I can rely on. And I think that that signifies a bigger message about your relationship with your higher source, right? Whatever that looks like to you, because, you know, whether you call that God, the universe, spirit, your guardian angels, I use them interchangeably, the creator. I use them interchangeably because to me, they all mean the same thing. But I realize like, okay, like if now that I have my parents, like, you know, and I've built this newfound trust in other people and being able to trust other people to like let go of control and allow other people to help me, to allow myself to receive, it transformed my relationship with God in the sense of like, why would we take you this far to only bring you this far? Like, why do you have a hard time trusting like me? Like, and I remember in 2022 when I was going through like my terrible relationship stuff and I was super broke, and you know, I was going through like a really hard time, and I would just remember like breaking down crying a lot of the time. Like, I'm not gonna cry right now because I have makeup on, but also like it's just a gratitude feeling because it's like, wow, just to remember where I was and where I am now mentally. But I just remember like just kind of hearing, because like when you sit in stillness you hear God, and I just remember hearing like, why would we take you this far just to bring you this far? Why don't you trust us? Like, why don't you trust that we have your best interest at heart? Why are you overthinking this? Allow us to do the work for you. Some things are outside of your control, and with real estate, it's so up and down. Like, you could have 10 buyers one day, they're like, oh yeah, let's do this, and then tomorrow those 10 buyers could say, actually I want to rent, or actually I changed my mind, or they don't get the house that they want and they just decide to pause. Or you have, you know, like sellers that want to sell and then the house sits, and then, you know, it's a up and down game, and a game a lot of the times that you can't control. And so I have learned heavily in my life, not just in real estate but in general, to lean on God. Because what I found is, even though I have in healing my relationship with my parents, and if you don't have the ability to heal your relationship with your parental figures, if you have the ability to heal your relationship with your siblings or your aunt or your grandmother or your friends, whatever that looks like for you that made an impact on your ability to release control, I would highly suggest that. But also to remember that God is not a human being. Like, your angel guides are not human beings. They are ethereal beings who have your best interest at heart. They don't have a jealous bone in their body about you. They want the best for you, and they are just waiting for you to want the best for yourself. And once I realized that, it was like, wow, okay. Like, it was, and it took a minute for me to actually let it resonate, because again, when you live in control mode, you don't feel like you can rely on anyone to do anything for you. You feel like, if I don't do it, it's not going to get done. And so you worry, you stress, you think about plan A to Z, because you need to think about, well, okay, well, if this doesn't happen, what am I going to be able to do? What am I going to do? And when you wholeheartedly trust in your source, in your creator, to do things for you that you are not able to do on your own. 808 as I'm watching the clock. You build an even more trust in yourself, in others, and in the universe, because you know, if this person can't do it, God will take care of it. If this person does something shitty to me, God will take care of it. There's nothing for me to do. And a lot of the times I feel like we do, especially me, I do to overcompensate, to rid myself of the thoughts of it not working out, when really God just wants me to relax and rest. God just wants me to rest assured knowing that it's going to happen. And yeah, like you have to take action. And I suggest taking inspired action, right? Because when you take action from a place of low vibration and low frequency, of worry, of doubt, of stress, you're not outputting anything into the universe that's saying that like this is going to happen, right? You're not putting anything out to God that's saying like, I trust you. When you act from inspired action, when you act from a place of like positivity and from this is going to work out, only good things are going to come out of this, it changes things. So even if, let's say, like a deal doesn't work out, I know a better deal is coming. Like, so for example, this is such a good example. I had a house, one of my listings under contract, and the deal fell through. And I remember thinking like, wow, okay. But I didn't even harbor on it. I was just like, you know what? God's got it. Like something better is going to come along. I don't know if it's going to be like this house going back under contract or something else. And literally either the next day or 2 days later, I get a call from some random guy who's like, hey, I saw one of your listings. Like I want to put my lot land on the market. We put it on the market literally within 2 days of the call. I was like, all right, cool. Inspired action. I took inspired action. That was my job. I answered the call. I gave him a walkthrough of what it would look like. I took inspired action, put it on the market, ring, 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 get a call within 30 minutes of it being on the market. Someone wants to buy it. We go into contract within 2 days. We have an offer that same day, but we go under contract because other offers. We go under contract 2 days later and close within 10 days. And on top of that, the buyer's agent, they were buying it. Like, I don't want to say who it was, but they were buying the property. Like that buyer's agent was also buying the property. He was like, we'll take off the commission. So you know what that seller did? He gave me the full 6% commission. Like, it was literally like, what? How could this happen? Only God made that happen. Like, that was nothing of my doing. All of my doing was taking inspired action. One inspired action of me having a listing of a sign led to another inspired action of me putting this listing on the market and getting under contract. Like, and that all happened because I stayed in a positive, aligned frequency. I trusted and released control. It's still, I won't say that I'm 100% perfect. Obviously, that's like, that story I use with myself because it's a reminder of like, wow, God literally works. When you pray and you relax and you are rest assured that everything is done, it is done, it is taken care of, all is well, it is well in my soul. You are able to allow God to work these miracles out for you because miracles happen every day. But all our job is to allow and to receive. So when you are rest assured that like all is well, it is well within my soul, like you are able to stay in the frequency and the alignment to bring about these things that you desire. And so again, I'm not perfect. Like today I've had a hard day. And honestly, like I went for a walk and something told me like, India, just walk. Like don't even call anyone. Like, cause I needed to make some calls, like reverse prospecting for one of my listings. And something told me like, India, don't make any calls. Like just walk and think. Don't think and just allow. Let it be. And what did I do? I was like, no, I need to call. So I'm sitting here sweating my ass off. It's almost 90 degrees outside. Traffic in the back. You can hear the traffic. And I'm just like, hi, so yeah. And I realized after like 6 calls, I said, we're done with this. Let me just finish my walk. We'll figure this out. Got back to my computer and I'm just like, and I took a shower obviously and I just prayed about it and I just let it go. I took a nap. I woke up. I did a little bit of work. I got myself ready for this date. And I said, you know what? We'll table this. We'll come back to it tomorrow. It's okay. Like sometimes you have to allow the space between like an action, like your actions, allow the stillness to bring about the solutions or allow the stillness to allow God to work things out for you. And yeah, so I hope that resonates because again, I am a reformed control freak and again, I'm not 100% perfect. And so if you're out there and you're like, I just feel like I don't have anyone there for me, I'm sending you a hug because I know what that feels like. You feel like I'm alone. If it's not me, then who's going to get it done? God. That's who's going to get it done. And if you don't believe in God, this is not the podcast for you. It really isn't. But God is going to get it done. And that's on point blank per. Okay. I actually also have a note that I keep, and for a while I had it on my as my screensaver. I think my screensaver right now is still, yes, it's just because you don't see anything happening doesn't mean God is not working. And that keeps me inspired because, you know, again, like God is working things out for you in this 4D realm that you can't see yet in the 3D. But all your job is to stay focused on what you want and why you want it, and to trust and let yourself know that, and or trust that it's going to be taken care of, that God is either going to bring that about or something better. Okay, so here's a note, and the note is labeled giving everything to God. And maybe I will put this on TikTok, or I will put this in the caption, what I have, or you can just take notes, you know, pause and take notes. Giving everything to God means not worrying or stressing, being at peace with his timing, remembering that God has never let you down and wants the best for you, being patient, releasing control, this or something better mentality. Remember, it's either this or it's something better, walking solely by faith. And, you know, I think, and like another couple of things that you can do, like this is such a good reminder for me because sometimes I just need to like have some affirmations and have some reminders. But another couple of good things to do is journaling your why, remembering your why. When I am in when I get in like a funky mood, I just remember my why, and I journal also about like, I love this. I switch the energy into like, I love that I'm able to rest on something that is challenging me, knowing that God's going to take care of it, because he always does. Like he always hears me and he always takes care of it. I think that journaling is like such a powerful tool to like shift your brain. Sorry, my eyelashes bothering me. Such a powerful tool to shift your brain. Something else that is powerful is watching people who inspire you, because a lot of the times you will resonate with something that they discuss. So I will watch millionaires that I admire, business, especially women that I admire, and see what their struggles have been like. And it just honestly helps you know that you're not alone. If you have friends in the same industry, like for me in real estate, it's so helpful for me hearing someone else talk and vent about like stuff that they're going through with their clients or their deals, because it just lets me know like, oh, I'm not alone. Like I'm not a shitty agent. Like it's just life. Like things happen, and it's not it has nothing to do with me. That is also helpful. I was gonna say something else would be helpful. I don't know. If I think of it, I will put it in the caption. But those are just a few ways that you can release, or at least begin to release the control. It's gonna take practice. It's gonna take time. You're not gonna be able to do it overnight, because if you've spent, like for me, if I spent 32 years of my life, 31 years of my life, 818. If I spent 31 years of my life as a control freak, it's gonna take more than just a day, a week, a month to shift my brain. Like I told you guys, it took 2 years of me journaling, meditating, affirmations, mental and emotional work to get to where I am now. And I still have work to do. We always still have work to do. And I think, again, embracing that is beautiful. So yeah, that is the topic. That is our discussion for today. And I'm sending you so much love, because again, I know it's not easy. And again, if you feel like you're alone, I'm sending you a hug. Please DM me. My Instagram handle, my TikTok handle is in my bio. I'd love to chat with you. Like that is just my passion, is inspiring others to create this positive change in their life, because that's what I needed. I wish that 2 years ago I had someone like me. And so hopefully I am that wellness bestie for you. So with that being said, I'm going to close out this podcast. I appreciate you guys for listening or watching or doing both. Again, tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. If this podcast resonated with you, please tell your friends, share it with them. Please subscribe and give me a 5-star rating. I would really appreciate it. And as always, I will check you guys out next week. Stay blessed and have a beautiful, beautiful week because you deserve it. Bye.